All right, never did yesterday's trade review. I'll just keep it pretty brief. It wasn't a great trade, really. As you can see here, London sell off. We created this on the 5 minute time frame. We created this large imbalance. As you can see, we showed a bullish posture coming up through here, and then when we saw that, it was again we're seeing horrible delivery, as you can tell, through New York. Once we got this displacement and we actually closed, there's a 15-minute inversion here. When we closed through that, I left quite a wide stop. And if you actually, this orange line here is the new week opening price. So we got above that, and basically at that point, I was just doing a quick 1-to-1, looking for us to continue to Asia highs, and it pretty much rolled over with there was some headline news that just rolled over right on me. But we'll continue now just to today's trade. So as you can see, this is on the 5 minute time frame. Asia positive, London positive. Right now we're on Bart replay mode, and this is, as we go into New York Open, you're going to notice something that's become extremely common. It's that pretty much off the rip at New York Open, like typically here what you'd like to see is price to come down into any of these areas I've got circled here. Push down would be, this is just a trend line here. Come down, take some of this liquidity, and then continue in bullish fashion. At this point, we're at all-time highs. I'm not looking to short anything. So really what I'm looking for is deep retracements, and then to see strong momentum come into the market, and then ride the trend in the overall higher time frame direction. If we take a look here, this is what I'm talking about, the open. We don't even mitigate this low. We don't even come down here at all, and it's so aggressive. With that, we create this 5 minute fair value gap, 5 minute fair value gap, 5 minute fair value gap, as you'll see here. So we see this displacement. So we come back down. This was also into a 15 minute fair value gap here. So really what I was looking for here is this 5 minute. I wanted to see strong displacement through here. And we got it. So when this happens, I had this blue line drawn in. This is the 1618. So that was kind of the overall target, but I wasn't going to be greedy as we were quite overextended. So in these scenarios, typically what I do is I draw on a fib extension, and I look for the 1618. And even with this displacement, in order to get a decent risk reward, I was looking for a pullback. So I put a limit order in here, my stop below this formation wick, and with this the target. So right here, I got tagged in. So now the trade is live, and as you can see, it was just very, very, very slow. What time are we at now? So we're at 11:05. So typically my rule is once we get to close to noon, at that point, at this point I'd already taken my stop loss here to break even. And now let me check the time, 11:30. So around like 11:50, I got back on screen. And where are we? Yeah. About here, I tightened my stop up, just cause so often, 11:55. So at this point, I put my stop here, 120. I said to myself, just so often at noon we see a reversal, and the fact this price action was so lethargic, and we were leaving kind of a lot of low resting liquidity here, I just wasn't willing, even if I'm going to get a 0.5 R. I was happy to take it. I just didn't want to, it's better than break even. And as you can see, price eventually went to my take profit. It wouldn't even have got to my take profit. We saw a pullback, and then the rest of the session, we saw a grind all the way up to this 618 that I had marked. And I think we almost went beyond it. We'll see. No, we got exactly to that really. And this is an aftermarket. And even aftermarket tonight, there was news on the war, and look what happened. Bang. We shot like 200 points. This is a super headline dependent market. That you have to be quite careful in. But the one thing I am going to start doing a little more, because if you look at the last two trades I took there, typically my risk reward is, it averages out to about a 1.3 to 1.4 R, but I am taking a little too many one to ones. Um, and I don't really want to be getting into trades where it's not a little bit more like a 1.5. I want to add more discretion, and I'm totally fine with that if that means taking less trades. Um, because right now my win rate's only about 55% at a 1.3. I kind of want to get that win rate higher to 55, 60%, and also increase my risk reward. I'm putting on a lot of size with these trades, so I'm okay if my frequency comes down to, right now it's about 3 trades a week, 3 to 4, probably 3.5 to average. I'd prefer to be at 2 to 3 with those metrics increasing, and yeah, my equity curve would it would really benefit from this approach. So I'm just going to be a little bit more conscious when I go to enter a trade like this one today. I don't know if it's really worth entering. You know, if this is going to be my target, and I can't shoot for much higher when I see price action be so lethargic, that this is a trade I'm just not going to take. Even though I get my setup, I get my inversion, I'm with the trend. If the RR isn't there, and especially right now we're in kind of blue sky breakout territory, so really have to see the momentum there for me to validate, okay, I think I can get a 1.5 out of this trade, or at least get an entry where the 1618 is getting me a minimum of 1.5. I'm going to play around with that and see how it goes over this month, and just see how the results are. You know, April was just about profitable. It was a tougher month. It still came out green, but I just wasn't happy with my as I said, my win rate. So I want to get that kind of mid 50s up to mid 60s, and I want to increase my reward to risk reward, and that's just all I'm going to have to change. Most things will stay the same. My entry model, the way I read the market, it's just added discretion. You know, just really looking at, is my TP going to give me that risk reward? If not, I'll let the trade pass, and that's a muscle I'm going to have to get used to working on.